Hello everyone, I'm Brior and welcome back to Good Game Empire. In today's video, it's finally time to take a look at the Fusion Forge, a new feature which allows players to apply incremental bonuses to their existing decorative items. In this episode, we're going to be using all of the information that's been made available to us, whether that be on the forum, in the game itself, or through the developer's broadcast on Twitch. So let's not waste any more time and instead jump right into it. In the PC version of the game, the button for the Fusion Forge can be found in the lower right-hand corner, where the button for the adventure maps previously stood. When you click on that button, this screen will appear, with 4 tabs that we need to run through. The first tab is where most of the magic happens, but we'll come back to that later. The second tab shows all of your available catalysts, which we'll come back to later. The third tab is where you can buy decoration dust, which we'll come back to later. And the fourth tab is the ruby market, where you can buy a castle garden for 40,000 rubies. But we'll come back to that later as well. But for now, let's see if we can actually upgrade a decorative item I own. So to do that, we have to come back to the first tab and click on the Fusion Forges. That opens up this window where we have to pick a target decoration that we want to improve, a source decoration that we are willing to sacrifice, and we also have to pick a catalyst. So let's start with our target decoration. I would really like to upgrade, for example, the Falconer's Outpost. I really like how it looks. I'd like to have more of them in my castle, and it's fairly strong, so I'd like to improve it even further. Now we have to pick a sacrificial decoration. Let's see here. I have a lot of, for example, Fountains of Inner Peace. So let's pick one of those, and we need to select a catalyst. Now here's where things start to get complicated. There are currently 5 kinds of catalyst available in the game, levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The developers are planning to add more in the future, but let's not go that far quite yet. So a level 1 catalyst, which is the cheapest and the most common, cannot be used to improve a decoration like the Falconer's Outpost because it can only be used on decorations up to Fusion level 10. To give you guys an idea of what that would look like, think about a castle garden or a park. In other words, really weak decorative items that you should have no interest in upgrading unless you are not yet a level 70. So that's kind of lame. Instead, for upgrading the Falconer's Outpost, we will have to use either a level 4 catalyst or a level 5 catalyst. So the level 4 catalyst can upgrade things up to level 40. Up at the top of the screen, you can see the Falconer's Outpost itself starts out at a fusion level of 34, but you're trying to improve that to 35 and beyond, so as you continue to improve your decorations, you will need more and more expensive catalysts. We could use a level 5 catalyst here, but we don't have any. They are impossible to craft, and to get one you would need to essentially place first in one of the events, so good luck. Instead, we will use a level 4 catalyst. The disadvantage is that won't give us an extra 4% chance for bonus Fusion XP. What is Fusion XP? Well, that's a good question. Gonna have to explain that next, but at the bottom of the screen here is some more information for us to pay attention to as well. So this 9% is the chance that we will get bonus Fusion XP. We could improve our chances of getting that bonus Fusion XP by once again using a more powerful catalyst or sacrificing a better decorative item, but I don't want to do that. That would be a waste. So right now that's going to stay at 9%. If we get really lucky, right? If we land on that 9%, then we will be awarded the bonus Fusion XP of 33. Regardless of whether we get lucky, we will get the regular Fusion XP of 45. So we will either get 45 or 78, if my math is correct. You will not land between those two values. You will either get the bonus Fusion XP or you will not. In case you are still confused, you can mouse over this eye here and it will open up a table that gives you all of that same information. Hopefully that explains it better for you. Let's go ahead and hit the confirm selection button. This gives us a summary of what's going on. So once again, we are improving a Falconer's Outpost by sacrificing a Fountain of Inner Peace, and we are using a level 4 Catalyst. Here, it shows that if we use the standard fusion method, our Falconer's Outpost will stay at level 34 because we are not getting enough fusion XP to level it up, right? You can see right here that we need 185, and with this standard fusion, we will get either 45 or 78. So you'd need to do this probably 3 or 4 times to upgrade this decorative item. You need to increase the fusion level of the decorative item because that is what gives you additional public order. So, because we are not doing that this time, we will not be getting any additional public order, which kind of sucks. 270 public order is the default value for the Falconer's Outpost, which you can see right here. But if we decided to proceed with the standard fusion anyways, we would need to spend 4,000 coal, 12 fusion coins, which can be obtained from various events, and 2,600 fusion energy points. We do not have that at the current moment in time because our fusion forge is not high enough in level. You can see at the top of the screen here that we are capped at 2,500 fusion energy points. We can upgrade the forge by clicking on this green button, and of course, we will need to spend some currency, decoration dust to be specific. You can see that upgrading our forge to level 3 would expand our capacity, which would give us enough fusion energy points to perform the standard fusion we are looking to do. It would also increase our rate of energy recharge, so you need to wait time for your energy to build back up to perform fusion again, and this kind of puts a soft cap on the number of upgrades a player can do in a day. So hopefully nobody will be able to run away with a massive lead on this new feature. So let's go ahead and upgrade our fusion forge now. In so doing, as I mentioned, we will expand our capacity for fusion energy, but we'll need to wait some time for those energy points to build up, so I'll see you in a while. I'm having to wait approximately 6 hours for my fusion energy, so in the meantime, let's take a look at the other tabs in the Fusion Forge window. Let's take a look at the catalysts, for example. As you can see, I wasn't lying to you, there are 5 different kinds, and these, as I mentioned earlier, can be obtained from event rewards or, in some cases, assembled. To assemble a catalyst, you have to click on the gray plus icon, and if you have the necessary resources, you can make one. You can also disassemble a catalyst to get some of those resources back, which might be helpful if you're trying to get extra decoration dust for the purposes of upgrading your forge. And for most players, that is what I would recommend. Not necessarily disassembling the catalysts, but certainly upgrading the forge, because you won't want to waste time or resources upgrading your weaker decorative items. The information button on each of these catalysts says that they are available for purchase in the Fusion Forge markets, but as far as I can tell, that is not the case. Over in the Fusion Coin market, the only thing you can purchase currently is decoration dust. Once again, that is used for assembling catalysts and or upgrading your Fusion Forge itself. And in the Ruby market, you can only purchase Fusion Coins, Castle Gardens, or Parks. If you are a strong event player, you should have plenty of Fusion Coins. I personally have been away at college for 2 weeks participating in the orientation program, so I have not touched the events, that's my bad. But for most players, Fusion Coins, as far as I can tell, shouldn't be a problem. So why would anybody consider purchasing a castle, park, or garden? To be clear, I'm not recommending you do, because even with the detail that I'm about to share, these are exorbitantly way too expensive. But a castle garden that you build in your castle the regular way only has a fusion level of 6. In other words, it's not very good for using as a sacrificial decorative item. It won't provide a whole lot of fusion XP. But the version of the castle garden that you can purchase here for rubies has a fusion level of 75, which is really high. So as you can imagine, this is actually very good for using as a sacrificial decorative item. The park is similar. It is obviously much higher in Fusion level when you buy it for rubies. Personally, I don't understand why Good Game Studios made these decorative items look like existing decorative items. The only reason that I know that the Fusion level for this garden is much higher is because I watched the 40-minute live stream that Good Game Studios did, and I wouldn't have done that unless I had planned on making a video tutorial. So once again, these are not regular parks or gardens. I still don't recommend you buy them, but if you have tons of rubies, go for it. Speaking of Good Game Studios' live stream, here are a few tidbits that might also contain useful and or hidden information.
We will do the jump to this next level on level 2, or if we get lucky and if we get 68 bonus, if we get 68 fusion experience, we will hit level 3. And this will also raise our public order by 5, so you will get 5 public order per level that you get, per fusion level, sorry, excuse me. And as you can see, Premium Fusion will grant me the level 3 upgrade for sure, because I will get my bonus experience for sure, and I also have to pay rubies for it. The little icon you saw right now, the butterfly, I would say, I don't know if it's really a butterfly, but it looks always to me like a butterfly. It'll show you that your decoration is unique. This means that you can only store a certain amount of unique decorations. I think at the moment it's 50 in total. And yes, that's about it.
The Good Game Studios live stream also provided a demonstration of the Premium Fusion option, which I can show you here as well. So if we put our decorations and our catalyst back in, we still do not have the fusion energy necessary to use either the standard or Premium Fusion. So if I click on the Premium Fusion button, you'll see that it provides me with an alert, insufficient fusion energy, and of course I can just buy this for rubies. So I hit the recharge button and then I would click here if I wanted to spend rubies, which, spoiler alert, I do not. One hidden advantage to spending rubies, however, is you can actually exceed the cap for your energy capacity, which is again determined by your forge level. So that could be a very good way of performing high-level upgrades with a low-level forge. Again, if you spend rubies, everything in the game becomes a lot easier. Each time you buy fusion energy, however, it becomes more expensive, and as demonstrated in the Good Game Studios live stream, it can become ridiculously expensive very quickly.
We are out of energy. Well, we can, of course, recharge our fusion energy again.
Okay, that's
which is quite costly because
again we are on our test server. We have quite a lot of rubies here to show you this feature. So let's get some fusion real quick.
So that's just something to consider. The other thing to know about the Premium Fusion option is it guarantees that you will get that bonus Fusion XP, and in fact, you will get even more than the value with the bonus Fusion XP applied. So here you can see with the standard Fusion, even if I got lucky, I could only get 79 Fusion XP. With the Premium Fusion, I would be guaranteed to get 82 XP. It's a very small number. A very small difference, however, so I don't really see why somebody would be encouraged to spend almost 9,000 rubies on this upgrade, which still, as a reminder, would not increase the public order of this decorative item. Alright, so some time has passed and we are finally ready to perform our standard fusion on this decorative item. We'll go ahead and click the button. We'll get the pop-up that the Fusion XP has been applied, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we got any bonus Fusion XP this time around. That's alright, it was pretty unlikely to happen, and we knew that going in. So that's really all there is to it. Very exciting, I know. It's a lot of hype and a lot of information around a fairly simple process in the game. According to Good Game Studios, at some point, this feature is to be extended to include equipment, but judging by their recent live stream, they are not ready to add this to the game anytime soon. Just take a look at what they have to say when that question is raised in Twitch chat.
We have the plan that it's coming for equipments, so this would be the equipment forge. And the equipment forge would therefore be for equipments, as the name suggests. I think we also teasered it in our announcement where we talked about the fusion system, right? To avoid the follow-up question, or not to avoid it, but sorry, to answer the follow-up question, when this will come out, the plans were made, but as you know, plans can always be matter to change and reason to change, and the whole equipment decoration, equipment forge decoration would be for equipments, basically.
All right.
So that's going to wrap it up for today's video. You can go ahead and stop sending me messages asking me to make it. A lot of times with new features, I don't want to make a video right off the bat because Good Game Studios will come in and change some of the features, which will make my videos obsolete. So I like to wait a few weeks before I make a tutorial, and I also need that time to get to know the new feature myself. So I hope you understand, and I hope you liked this video because, once again, that's all for today. I'll see you next time.